Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. My name is Dan Hafner. Welcome into 2026. I will say, I think this is only about the second or third show that we've released here in 2026, and it's already February. I have been quite busy, my friends, so I apologize for the less frequency in publication, but it looks like you guys are listening to the show more than ever if my analytics are true. So I appreciate all of you continuing to listen and coming back to the show. Got a very interesting case study. We haven't done one of these in quite a while, but a lot of people are launching new software, launching new apps. The world is changing right under our very feet. So I have a very special guest on here. We're going to talk about her app that she was able to launch with a specific problem in a specific niche. And it's a really, really cool case study that I'm excited to learn more about and kind of just dive into. And hopefully you can glean some insights from it, because this is the meat and potatoes. This is someone who's actually building and launching a business and a service through, finding a need and building software and doing this whole thing. So very, very excited to talk with Carmel Mannix of the Complete Move app, who I will introduce here formally in just a minute. But before I do that, as always, welcome back to the show. Please like and subscribe, whether you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you are listening or watching the show. I really, really appreciate that. And that helps the show. We've been growing and expanding, and it's been really, really awesome to see all of you guys continuing to come back. And it seems to be a valuable conversation, or a timely one at least. So appreciate all of you, and always share this if you find value or think someone might find value from this episode. So um, I could do the whole big intro that Carmel has, but basically that is pretty much it. She is the founder of the Complete Move app. She's located in the UK, and I won't steal her thunder. I'll just welcome her into the show. How you doing, Carmel?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I'm very excited to talk through this this case study, your journey with this whole thing. So basically, just give us the 30,000 foot view. How did you get into the Complete Move app? What happened with it? How did this come to be?
So I've been one of the directors at our removal company, Mannix Brothers Removals and Storage, for 8 years now. And on a daily basis, I speak to people that are moving house. They have quotes from us. None of the customers we have, when we quote them, are able to give me a move date, which is standard, to be honest. But throughout their journey, we stay in touch with them, try and get updates, and that's a very unfulfilling process, shall we say. They're unable to give updates. And many of the customers I have calling me or emailing me are frustrated, upset, often in tears, because they just cannot get any answers. Many of them are elderly. So I decided after a while, after reading a book from Stephanie Sword Williams and being at an event, a conference alongside Stephen Bartlett, I decided that something needs to change. So in June last year, I went to the conference and came away, read a couple of books, and something sparked within me to try and change the process to make things a lot smoother and simpler for those moving home, and make it so it's not as stressful as it currently is at the moment, as I don't feel that should be the main emotion that people feel when they're moving home. So I decided to address their pain points and have gone away and created an app which brings together for the first time those moving home with estate agents, mortgage advisors, conveyancers, and removal companies, and brings everyone together in one app to simplify the journey.
What a great idea! So I this caught my eye also. I think when you had reached out about coming on the show, because I've also, gosh, I think if I go back to when I was moving to college, and then after that, I think I moved like 4 or 5, maybe 6 times in the past. Well, it's probably 15 years now. It got to be quite a bit before, but we've been kind of in one place for a while. But I sympathize, because moving is stressful. It's chaotic. It's not really ever like something someone looks forward to. You're
No,
like, oh wow, can't wait to move all my crap. Um, so this is cool. But what I love about what you created is that you were in this business for such a long time, and you saw so much of it that you saw like, this is what is a pain in the ass for me, for the people, for everyone involved. and boom, one day it just hits you like, man, if there was a solution for this specific thing, it would be amazing. And like that's such a great example of like something that when you launch is immediately validated because you have so much experience and so much um you know insight into what's going on in that particular market.
It's really on.
Yeah, you said something there that caught my ear, and I want to double click on that because I find this happens a lot with people who are building these kinds of things. At least in my experience, I've built things like this marketplace, multiple roles inside of an app. You said if we can get the service providers to be onboarded. Yeah, you're laughing, for those of you who are just listening, she's like, "Yeah, yep." So, does that prove to be one of the most difficult pieces of this is just actually getting the people who are supposed to be using this, actually using this? That's super interesting. So, okay, so real quick, how did you build the app? Like, did you build it yourself? Did you hire someone? How did you build it? Oh, yeah, I use it all the time. That's awesome. And so is it only available in the UK, or are you expanding into other markets? Okay. Cool. No, that's awesome. I've also used Replit at times. There's so many of those kinds of tools out there. We'll have this in another episode for you guys listening. I actually just did an episode on like the 5 different ones that I've used and kind of the pros and cons that I saw, but I Replit was one of them that I tested, and it's great. It's a great tool. So that's very cool. But it's funny that you go back to you're like building the app was like the easy part. It's actually getting people to hear me and to use this and to onboard and to. I think that's kind of the the ultimate thing. I don't think that's changing. Like the way we build and we launch software is changing fundamentally with all these tools like Replit, like Lovable, like all these things. But the thing that's not changing with software and tools and apps is user adoption. Like that is the one thing that is like still we're like you could build something in an afternoon, but you still how do you get people to use it? How do you get people to pay for it? So um very very interesting. So what other than this other obviously then other than coming on podcasts to promote it and stuff, what are some of the other things that you're doing to try to drive adoption? Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Um Okay, yeah, that's actually another just a quick question I wanted to ask about like the build process because that's more of where I'm at. Like I love that's it's kind of my business. But what how long would you say? What was like the ballpark of? Okay, I had this idea. I recognized this thing. You went to that conference to actually being a live published application. Like what was that timeline? Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, all these things they market like, "Oh, build your app in a weekend," kind of thing, but, that's a pretty good for especially what you're trying to do. Because, like you said, there's 4 or 5 different, like, people that you're trying to get on here for one specific house move. That's not bad. That's not bad. Nice. Now, another just quick like logistical question regarding it, or maybe a little more strategic also. Did you start like a whole new business entity to launch this, or did you kind of fold it into the business that you currently are running? Okay, so it's separate. So like but you still use it with your existing business, right? That's such a cool idea. I mean, I just for you guys listening, like I see this happen a lot. Like this is really awesome where, you're in that niche, you're in whatever industry, you recognize the problem. But then that's the cool thing with like a tool like this is that it's related to what you're doing and you have insight and in like an edge really of I know that this could succeed because of this thing, but then you go and you build it separately so it can kind of be its own entity and grow. You know what I mean? So very cool, very cool. Well, so speaking of that, where can we find this app? Where can we go to sign up if we are in the UK? We have a lot of UK listeners actually. So where can we go to find this? Okay. There you go. You guys got it in the show notes. So, okay. Another question I have for you, since you have built this tool using like using Replit, I believe you said, what are and this is one thing I get questions from my clients a lot too. Problems, what issues do you run into? It's not all sunshine and rainbows, doing software. What are some of the common or most pain in the butt things you run into with the maintenance of the app or updating things or just kind of the mundane stuff that isn't like the cool, sexy stuff? Like, what are some of the things like that? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I get that. There can be a lot of them that are less than user friendly. I think a lot of times because they can be development tools built for developers in some kind of ways, you know? Okay, so is it really just at this point? Is it just you that kind of goes in there and makes changes? You still have your developer on staff, or is it just kind of you? Wow, very cool, very cool. Wow, very interesting. So what do you see this? Where do you see this? Where do you see this going? Like, what's your goals for this as you grow? Obviously you said that you want to expand into different markets and stuff, but like are you really trying to disrupt the housing market? Are you trying to um fundamentally change this entire moving market? Like what's your goal with this? That's awesome. I was actually, that was my next question and you led into it right there at the end, was
Sorry.
an onboarding process. No, that's okay. That's perfect. What a good segue, because that was kind of my next question was, have you thought about like a white glove onboarding kind of thing? It sounds like you do that. Because I've seen that work wonders as well with, and I think that's kind of the nature of where we are as a society. We all use software and tools every single day. And it can be, like you said, just like even with tools like Replit, it can be kind of hard. Like, what's the user face like? This isn't really friendly. I'm not sure how to walk through this. So you do some onboarding things. Do you plan on ever like upselling that or charging extra for that in the future at all? Yeah, I mean, because at this point, you can probably do it in 5 minutes because you know the tool back, hand over fist. Yeah, very cool, very cool, interesting, interesting. Okay, so do you? I guess we can wrap it up there. I mean, this has been pretty insightful, pretty interesting. Do you have anything else you want to add about the platform, the tool, how things are going with it? Very cool. Okay, so if you are in the UK, you can go, like you said, on Google Play, and you can search for, what is it, Complete Move app. That should bring up the app.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what was the URL for us one more time? Okay, got it. And then is it coming to? I'm an Apple user, I got to say, with my phone as well. Is it coming to the iOS store soon? Nice. Awesome. Look at you go. How has that process been with launching, using like a Replit tool to launch to the app stores?
So they've made it much more simpler and
I didn't think that they allowed to launch to Google Play yet, do they? Oh, so how did you pull that off? Interesting.
loophole,
Okay,
which
okay, yeah. I'm curious just because I've been also searching down the rabbit hole of what's the best one to do all of that with, and I haven't found a really good one that does everything that I wanted to do yet. But clearly it can be done, because you're proof that it can be done even if you have to hire someone to do it.
yeah, definitely.
Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, this has been really interesting, very insightful, very exciting to hear. Like I love stories like yours of someone who's like, I'm frustrated with this. I see something that's frustrating people and I'm just going to build something and go for it. So I commend you for that. Like, well done. That just I like just want to take a minute to appreciate you for that. Like, good for you for taking a risk, you know, putting it out there, going for it, going on podcasts like this and promoting it. It can be scary to promote your creation and your thing, and put it out there, and but you also have to do it, like like that you, or no one else will ever know it exists, so. But good for you, best of luck with it, and I hope to see it someday soon in the US, and other markets as well, because that means it's growing. But then I also selfishly, like, if my wife and I move again, I could use something like that, to be honest, because moving is a not fun endeavor, and I hope I only have to do it one more time in my life, hopefully, um, and then we'll be done with that. Yes, yes. Thank you for coming on. All right, guys. Well, that is all for this episode. As always, thank you all for joining. Really appreciate all of you for listening or joining, or however you are streaming this episode in this podcast. So that is all for this one, and we will see you guys next time. My name's Dan Hafner, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks for tuning in to Tech Bites, your go-to show for software business and technology. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with our latest episodes, insights, and stories. Hungry for more? Dive deeper into the world of no-code by visiting dapanacode.com. Your journey to building amazing software without coding skills starts there. Connect with like-minded creators and unlock a world of resources tailored just for you. Subscribe now. Explore Dapper No Code and let's innovate together.